Here's your morning weather briefing video for this December 29th, 2024. I'm meteorologist Bill Murray, and the big news is that we pretty much dodged a bullet with our severe weather event from Saturday night. We did have some damage. This looks pretty terrible right here. Limestone County EMA on the square in downtown Athens, probably the worst damage we saw in the state of Alabama, even though there were, a few trees down here and there, Jefferson and Shelby counties, and, a good bit of power outages across the state. This was probably the heaviest damage, but for the most part, we dodged a bullet. Not everybody was that lucky. Southeast Texas, southwestern Mississippi, they had damaging tornadoes and fatalities. Which is always heartbreaking, especially with a well-forecast and well-advertised event like this one. The big news is that colder weather's coming. The differences in the details, and don't know that we'll solve any of that today, but we will see some interesting model output, that's for sure. And we'll talk about that and see what we can come up with. But it was an interesting and very long day. It's coming up on 24 hours here. But it was a very interesting day, and a day that was fun to work. And so I'm glad that things worked out the way they did, and very thankful for the easterly wedge. We've been talking about it all week, and it sort of did a number, putting the kibosh on the instability and putting us in a pretty good position. So we will take that. This is the look of the watch warning map early on the Sunday morning at 4 a.m. We've still got 3 counties under the tornado watch down in southeast Alabama, Henry, Houston, and Geneva, but they won't be there much longer, as you'll see in a minute. Parts of the Florida Panhandle still under the watch, over to the Florida Big Bend, and then up through Georgia. Got a big severe thunderstorm warning, blanket warning there, covering areas to the south and the southeast of Atlanta. But that, activity will continue to push to the east. This is what the radar looks like at this hour. And you can see most of the activities out of Alabama. It's been a beautiful sleeping night in the I-20 corridor. Just low, rumbling, occasional thunder, but just a steady rain. I picked up just under an inch just off I-459 in the Acton Road area. And, you can kind of see temperatures going down. At this point, dew points are dropping, and the rainfall is moving out. It won't be around in the state much longer. This is let's see what I want to show here first. I want to get this lined up, and this little tornado warning from the Weather Service in Tallahassee that you heard beeping over there. Let's see who it's for. Walton, or East Central Walton and Washington counties. That area is really north of Panama City. This is the day one outlook from the SPC, and it shows a large slight risk area, which of course is surrounded by a marginal risk all the way back up into Ohio. But the slight risk area goes from Southern Virginia through western North Carolina, covers the entire state of South Carolina, most of Georgia, and goes into North Florida. The Alabama portion is going to be gone before the second update of the morning. I'm pretty sure it won't last very long at all. Now, this is the upper pattern across North America. There's our negatively tilted trough that caused the grief on Saturday, and was beginning to move on out. It'll be replaced by a second trough early in the week that will stay mild till Tuesday, but then temperatures will begin to fall. And fall will be the operable word as we, move forward. You can see, it's just one trough after another. We never get a chance to really develop a ridge back in here. And systems continue to dive, and then we got a full latitude trough by Tuesday the 7th, Wednesday the 8th, and that is a really cold look. And it doesn't stop there. It keeps on going. So you see that is a very, very cold look with air coming straight out of southern Canada. So, looks like we're going into a really, really cold period. This GFS, and I'm going to kind of take you day by day like we normally do. This is your Sunday. Cloudy skies early today. A little partial sun as we go through the day, though. Partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight ahead of that next system. Afternoon highs are going to be in the upper 50s to lower 60s, a few middle 60s over south central Alabama. Westerly wind at 10 to 15 miles an hour, so it really won't be a bad day. We'll be dry in most all of Alabama, if not all of Alabama. And tonight will be dry. You saw some precipitation there associated with that trough in Tennessee. That may give us those clouds as we get into Monday. Monday turns mostly sunny, though, just a few passing clouds. It'll still be mild, be breezy. We will see some overnight showers pop back into the forecast for either Monday night and or Tuesday morning. This is New Year's Eve right here. For Tuesday, we'll call for sun clouds mixed, falling temperatures by afternoon. We'll start off around 52. We'll recover to probably 58 up north, 61, 62 in the I-20 corridor, a little warmer to the south. But by noon, temperature's going to be hightailing it back to the south. And, by Wednesday morning, we'll probably be in the middle 30s. I think I've got it 40 there. I think we're gonna have to tweak that down a little bit. Probably 37, 38 degrees. As we get into Wednesday, it's going to be mostly sunny and cooler. Some folks are going to struggle to get out of the 40s on Wednesday. Northwest wind, probably 5 to 10 miles an hour. Not real gusty, so it won't feel real blustery. But as we get into Thursday, looks like we're dry. Plenty of sun, but remaining cold is the forecast. We start out around 30 on average, upper 20s north, lower 30s south, and afternoon highs do struggle to get out of the 40s over the northern half of the state. Now, we go toward Friday, and we're still dry. A mix of clouds and sun, start off in the lower to middle 30s, afternoon highs climb back into the lower 50s, and we've got another disturbance passing to our north, but looks like, we remain dry. Now, Saturday, we stay dry as well, mostly sunny and chilly. 27 to start the day, 46. But you see we're kind of losing ground as we go through time. Let's take this on out through the end of the 2-week period. The GFS hints at some sort of wintry mix for the Tennessee Valley next Sunday the 5th. Followed by a change over to rain and a big wet weather system there on Tuesday the 7th with snows well to the north of Alabama, but with sharply colder conditions coming in for Wednesday the 8th. And you see those heights crashing all the way to the Gulf Coast, all the way really to the Tampa Bay area. So that's not a good look. Here comes a little clipper system by Thursday the 9th, and that brings another little round of snow to North Alabama, North and Central Alabama, but, not exceptional amounts of snow. Well, let's just kind of go look and see what those snow totals might look like. It wouldn't be bad. 2 to 3 inches of snow fans. Nobody would be complaining about that. Well, let's just see what the European has to say about that. This is 0Z run. You see the system moving out. There's our system for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day that's moving on through. without much impact. We're getting into the weekend. There's the wet weather system without the pre-event snows. It's just a heavy rain event with a little snow on the backside in Tennessee, turning sharply colder, but maybe not quite as cold. But look here on Wednesday night, the 8th. With the cold air in place, the Europeans' low is tracking along the Gulf Coast. And we all know what that can mean. So if this is the case, folks, be a different story. That would be a really big snow for Alabama. And when I say big, I mean, 5 to 8 inches. We'll see that in just a second. There comes another little reinforcing shot of cold air and maybe a little bit more wintry precipitation there on the back end. Now, when you see these amounts off the European, your eyes will pop out. But this is one run. I've seen it on a couple of runs in the last 24 hours. So it's probably not out of the question. And if we get the really cold air that is being advertised by the models, it's kind of possible. As a matter of fact, go ahead and, tell the kids to hide their eyes, because these are temperatures off the European, deterministic, and they're shocking. Lows in the single digits to a couple digits below zero there by the end of next week. Not the end of next week, but the end of week 2. Around the 9th and 10th of January, where we don't even get above freezing for 3 days. That's kind of insane. The GFS is cold, not as cold, but maybe colder for a more prolonged period. If you believe the GFS, that's 6 days where we don't get above freezing until the 6th day, and consistent lows in the teens. So you get the message that we've got some really cold air coming. And that's going to be something we're going to have to contend with. You know how things go. They'll probably modify substantially between now and then. And, one can only hope we don't need to deal with all that kind of cold air, that's for sure. The snow fans will rejoice at the possibility and the thought and the chance to, talk about snow for the next couple of weeks. But it probably will be gone on the next couple of runs and will be a distant memory. But that's the vagaries of being a snow fan in Alabama. Well, that's the weather video for this Sunday morning, the 29th. I'll have notes on the blog, complete update on the forecast coming up around noon. Give you a little weather update there. We'll sneak a peek at what the latest model data is saying, because we'll have something to get excited about now and see what happens. But until I get the chance to do this again, either later this afternoon or certainly by next Sunday, as I always tell you, keep an eye to the sky, because you'll always have something fun to look at.